Hey, boys and girls, it's Ron Bass with another edition of the Ron Bass Show. Your source for inspiration, encouragement, motivation, humor, all kinds of stuff, right?
You never know what you're going to get.
You never know what you're going to get with this operation. Brent Atterbury, our executive producer.
Fancy title.
Fancy title. Executive producer. Marketing guru.
Okay. Whatever you say.
Oh boy, well, you know what? I had some crazy experiences today. I want to talk about that first. I was going to talk about something else. We'll get to that later.
What, that I brought you cookies?
Yeah, you brought me cookies. Thank you.
Oh, yeah. See, guaranteed not to gain any weight.
Yeah, guaranteed for sure not to gain any weight.
Just run while you're eating.
Yeah, run while you're eating. You know, I've done that.
Oh,
In fact, I eat while I'm working out at the gym. I always do that. People look at me like I'm a little crazy, and I wear my tie when I work out. Do you think maybe that's odd or something?
Yes. You don't find that in the fitness clothes section of the department store.
But you know what I find? If I take the time to get ready to work out, I talk myself out of it. So that's why I've always gotten this habit of just get in my car, I go to the gym, and I just start working out. And I eat while I'm working out.
Yeah.
I usually eat like some kind of a snack and an energy drink or some protein drink.
I thought you might wear those spandex pants.
Speaking of spandex, one of my friends at the gym, she looked pretty good today.
Oh.
Wearing something along those lines.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about her in a minute.
Okay.
So, interesting thing going on at the gym today. A lot of politics going on. Yeah, and so my friend came in the gym today that I've talked to Dr. Jones. I talk about her all the time. She's a professor at a local college here in Missouri, and she going through a horrible divorce, went through a divorce, is all over with now, except for the what's left over, all the heartache that still goes with the breakup, right?
Sure.
And so she's going through this process of, do I date again? Do I not date again? What should I do? She said, I thought I was all ready to date again, and I met this guy, and he really wanted to go out with me, and I thought I wanted to go out with him, and then I started thinking to myself, oh, I don't think I'm ready. This and that, and the back and forth. I said, look, to her, I said, focus on yourself. Focus on your career. You've got a great career. You're a very attractive person. You're not going to have any problems finding suitors. You like that word, suitor? S-U-I-T-O-R.
Sure.
I think that means, it's an old saying, or an old term, it means a date. Or something along those lines. Somebody to go out with, right? Or somebody to go to an event with.
Someone that might suit her.
This girl's particular, man, let me tell you. But she's a good-looking gal, and she's got her own money. And I said, look, you have the right to be particular. You have that. You don't sell yourself short. She's a little short.
Yeah.
She's not too
Don't do it.
She's about 5'2" or 5'3".
Yeah.
I noticed that today about her. She gives us the impression that she's tall, but she's really she's not very tall.
Wow.
Physically tall. But she's very attractive. And I said, look, you don't have to worry about finding guys. There's plenty of guys. But coming off of a relationship after 10 years of divorce, I get it. It's a struggle because you're so used to being with somebody. You're so used to having a friend, somebody with you all the time. And so when you lose all that, all kinds of things are going wrong in your head. Like your confidence is out the window. You're lonely.
Change is hard.
Change is hard. And she made a comment to me today. She said, sometimes I think to myself, maybe I should have just stayed the course and tolerated the way you treat me. And I said, no. I said, you've already done yourself a huge disservice by doing that. You've eroded your self-respect big time. It's going to take you years to get that back. It's a big deal. This whole thing's a big deal. When you get mistreated and you don't give it up and you stay with that person, you can't do that, guys. We talked the other day about being around the right kind of people. You have to make it a point in life to understand that your environment is everything. If you're hanging around the wrong people, it's bad news, man. My gym members, we talk all the time about the people that they're hanging out with doing drugs and alcohol, and the fact that how much that affects their attitude. And you're never going to be a great athlete if you are overindulging in drugs and alcohol. Now, if you want to indulge occasionally, recreationally, once in a while, once a month, once a quarter, once a year, I can see that. But to do something every single day, no, because all it is a Band-Aid anyway. But back to her, back to this discussion about my friend. She said, we're talking, and she said, I think I need to go back to my therapist. And I said, yep, I think so. And I say it out of love to her, because she's a really great person. But sometimes when you talk to a friend, you can do a friend more service by being honest with them than by just telling what they want to hear. So I tend to be that friend. I'm going to tell people exactly what I think they need to hear, hit it head on, and not mince words, because it doesn't do them any good if you're telling them stuff that doesn't help them. And I only speak from my own experience. I've never been married, but I've had some bad relationships, so I understand the gig. So that was one thing that happened today at the gym. And then there's another person in the gym that never speaks to anybody. She's a very attractive girl, but she never smiles. She's just, you would think she's rude. Well, she came over to my friend, and they began talking. Oh my God, on. And I'm overhearing some of these discussions. And then I get a text message from another friend of mine who's in the gym, who's on the treadmill, and her name's Amanda. She's a great person, just salt of the earth. Works hard every day, works out every day, has a great job. She's just really a really good person. And she's sending me these text messages. Hey, you know what? Old Blondie over there is pretty chatty. And you know what? I saw her in the park the other day. I was running, and she didn't even speak to me, and I smiled at her. And you know what? She can go jump in the lake, blah, 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 blah. And I said, hey, you know what? It's her loss for not being your friend, because you could be a great friend to anybody. So that's on her. And so after I finished working out, as I was walking out the gym, my friend was on the treadmill, and I stopped and I talked to her. She says, yeah, I can't believe that girl. She's so unfriendly, blah, 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 blah. And I said, look, here's the deal.
Somebody hit their goal.
Somebody hit their goal. Here's the train.
There's the train.
I said, here's the deal, Pickle. This girl is probably not a happy person. And that's probably why she's not smiling, for one. And two, she probably hates everybody, including herself. That's why she's not being friendly to you. So, you cannot take that personal.
You may have to talk about her.
You cannot take that personal. It's her loss. You're a great person, and you know what? You can't worry about things like that. So I said that to say to the audience, you're going to have people in your life, guys, that you can't figure out why they're not on your side of the fence. It's just life. It's not your fault. It's not your problem. It's their problem.
But why did she just assume she was not friendly? Maybe she didn't notice her. Maybe she...
No, she noticed her because she was up close to her.
And
I'm up close to her every day in the gym, and she never speaks to me either. She's very, very smug, I guess would be the right word.
Smug?
Yeah.
She's your friend. You
no, this is the other girl. There's another girl. There's too many girls in the gym.
You have lots of
girlfriends.
girlfriends.
I have lots of girlfriends, yeah.
Lots of friends that are girls.
Lots of friends that are girls, yes.
Okay, yeah.
So I'm trying to sort through all this.
You know what you need to do?
What?
You need to give her a hug.
That's what I need to do. Yeah, okay, there you go.
Well, you might get slapped.
I might get slapped too,
she needs you to intervene, Ron.
Well,
listen to the podcast.
All I can do is respond to my friends' comments, which I did today, and that's what I did. And I speak freely, and I speak the truth, and just like I do to my audience here. It all comes down to one thing, guys. You have to focus on yourself. And people say to me, Ron, that's selfish. No, it's what you have to do. Focus on your own personal development, right? That's why we do the podcast. Focus on your own goals. The more you accomplish as a person, the better example setter you're going to be to others, the more you're going to help everybody, and including yourself. That's the bottom line. And if somebody doesn't like you, that's not a big deal. A lot of people, look, it's going to be a love-hate thing, guys. People are going to love you, they're going to hate you. Brent's been in the same boat I've been in. I got people that love me, people that hate me. It's just life. Jealousy plays a role. Who does he think he is? Who does she think she is? She's because she's pretty, because she's successful, because he's got money, because he's on the radio, because he does martial arts. Whatever it is, there's jealousy. And the ego, here's how the ego works. The ego says to the person that's not doing well, hey, you know what? Screw that person. You're better than that person. The only reason that they're successful is because they're lucky or they're cheating somebody. And the ego has this crazy way of rationalizing your lack of success by telling you to be critical of others. This is the psychology. I'm not trying to get too deep, guys, here, but the bottom line is it kind of comes down to jealousy. When people are mean to you or not nice to you, usually it's jealousy. So take it as a compliment. It's okay. That's how I look at it. All right. So much for what happened in the gym today.
Wow.
There's a lot going on today.
Maybe that girl and Blondie need to become friends.
You know, I'm going to work on that girl. I'm gonna like start like walking up to her and just smiling and
see what happens.
See what happens. Yeah,
Might be good for the,
she might just be a really shy person.
Report back to the podcast.
I think she's really unhappy about her husband, is what I overheard. Oh. Yeah, her husband. I overheard her husband this, husband that, husband this.
Yeah.
I don't think she's happy about her husband.
That's the smug lady?
Yeah, that's the smug lady.
Okay.
Another example, though, of why people can be mean because they're not happy.
Yeah.
Right?
But you can tell her a joke or, you know.
I can tell her a joke.
I
know a lot of jokes.
Yeah.
A lot of dry humor jokes.
Yes,
that go right over people's heads.
That's all right.
Okay. Guys, here's something else I want to talk about. Everybody's impatient. I know a lot of people out there are impatient. I get it. I'm impatient too. But you got to enjoy the ride. Don't worry about the time frame. Yes, set the goals for 1 year at a time. That's how I do it. You can set it for less time if you want, but I like to do 1 year. I set the goal on the back of a business card. I've told you that before. I set a personal goal and a financial goal. I write it down, I date it, I sign it, so it's a legal binding document to myself. It's a document, it's a contract. If I don't make it, which I'm coming up here in about 2 weeks, I'm probably not going to make my goals. So guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to take the back of that card, I'm going to erase the date, I'm going to reset it for the end of the following year. And I'm going to sign it again, and I'm going to put it back in my billfold. And every day when I touch my billfold, my credit card, what am I going to do? I'm going to recite it subconsciously, if nothing else. And remember, you become what you think about, just like you become who you surround yourself with. It's a law. Those are laws of psychology. Not theories, laws. It has to happen. But back to the time frame. I can't guarantee you it's going to be in that time frame. It's okay, though. Just keep resetting it, and eventually, I promise you, you will reach those goals. I've done it my whole life, probably almost 40 years I've been doing this. So everything I've accomplished, guys, believe it or not, is because of what's on the back of that business card. That's crazy. Now, if you fail sometimes I have failed. I've had to back all the way up and start over again, but I at least reached the goal before I lost the accomplishment. How about that? That's a whole other story for a whole other day.
Yeah.
Just because you accomplish something doesn't mean that you can hold on to it. Sometimes things slip through your fingers. Poor judgments, distractions. We talk about distractions all the time. In fact, part of what we're going to talk about today, if I can get to it, is the struggle, right? The struggle of not accomplishing things. But look, enjoy the ride, enjoy every day. You can't make things happen any quicker than they're going to probably happen. No matter how hard you work, no matter how hard you try, there's only so much that's going to happen every day. But it's okay because you're on the track, you're making some progress, even if it's incremental, and you have to be proud of that. At least that's my opinion. I got a lot of opinions.
Yes, you do. It's okay to hit your goal sooner. Then you work on goal number 2 or goal number 3, but it's okay. If you don't hit the goal, enjoy the ride. You're going to learn a lot. You're going to see a lot of things. It's going to make you a better person.
A better person is a really important thing.
Sure.
We want to become better people.
Work on yourself, yeah.
I wonder to myself if we are born with a disadvantage of that, where we tend to be more towards not being good people, and we have to work really hard to get to par and then to improve that. I wonder if it's just kind of like in our DNA.
I don't know. I think some of it has to do with how you're raised, environment. If you're around a positive,
good point,
building environment that is always positive reinforcement.
Excellent point.
But not everybody's in that situation.
A lot of people are brought up in really horrible situations, and then it's just no wonder they turn out bad. Crime, drug habits, bad, just really turn out to be homeless. It's really sad, when you see so many of these homes that are very dysfunctional. But we can't control that. All we can control is our own lives. I want to talk about marijuana. I know I do this from time to time, but I read an article. Elton John, the great artist, he's been sober about 30 years now, but he was interviewed the other day, and they were talking about this new research. They say that marijuana lowers your blood flow to the brain. It does a lot of bad things to you, right? It screws up your decision-making process. And this isn't like just while you're high. This is like permanent stuff. It also increases the aging process, so you're probably not going to live as long. And you've heard a lot of this stuff before, right? But I mean, these studies are getting more and more detailed, and it's just really And I've got a lot of friends that smoke pot. Got a lot of students that smoke pot, but it's just not good for the brain. It's not good for the lungs either, right? So if you're going to smoke pot, guys, probably do it occasionally. Don't do it like every day. They also say that it has a negative effect on income.
Unless you're selling it.
Unless you're selling it.
Just kidding.
You're making plenty of money, right?
Just kidding.
Now the government's involved.
Yeah.
Making money, which I think is very hypocritical, because they're supposed to be protecting us, and now they're doing things that are going to hurt us. It also causes a lot of memory losses. At any rate, Elton John, he's all about being the proponent of not smoking marijuana. I guess if you're going to do marijuana, I guess do gummies, but I don't know, man. Just work out. Just get a good night's rest. Just work out. Exercise. It's the best drug in the world. Promise you. It's not that complicated. Just work out every day. How are we doing on time?
Amazing.
Do we have any breaking news?
We do.
Okay, I'm ready.
We do. A lot of breaking news.
A lot?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's hear it.
Well, I came across this story because it said martial artist breaks dangerous records. So I pulled it up and read it. And I don't know what this has in common, or if you guys do this here in your studio, but it said a martial artist breaks dangerous record involving a cucumber, chainsaw, and a blindfold.
Oh my God.
He broke a record for the most sliced cucumbers with a electric chainsaw blindfolded. Oh my God. He did 71 slices of cucumbers in 1 minute, blindfolded. A martial artist. So I don't know what martial artist has to do with being blindfolded and slicing a cucumber, but
it's pretty interesting. I
it's a
suspect
Guinness World Record.
The sense of perception is higher, probably is the suggestion, but that's pretty weird.
But there's no self-defense used there.
No.
Okay. And also, there's two here that are kind of tied into the holidays coming up here.
Okay.
Today is as Baked Cookies Day.
Ooh, we like cookies.
Yeah, brought you cookies today.
Yeah, thank you.
And then it's also, this is kind of funny, if anybody's seen the movie Elf, answer the telephone like Buddy the Elf Day. That's what today is.
Oh my gosh.
So,
that's funny.
And last, I just saw this. I have to say it. It's Wear a Plunger on Your Head Day.
Oh my gosh, what does that mean?
Well, I think it's just silly. I don't know that there's
you're talking about like a plunger for a
plunger
stool?
they use for a toilet. Yeah,
Oh
wear
my
a plunger on your
gosh.
head day. That's what today is.
Who comes up with these things?
Oh, I'm not sure.
Maybe we should come up with our own.
People smoking marijuana.
People smoking marijuana. That must be. Oh gosh.
It makes you very creative, I've heard.
My coach, sometimes he even smokes pot, and he'll go outside and smoke. He'll come back in, and we'll have these conversations, and it's just so different after he smokes.
Mm-hmm.
But bless his heart, he's a great guy, and I told him, I said, man, you got to realize you're setting an example. You're in a leadership position. I said, I'm not trying to be negative, but man, you got to think about this. If you're going to smoke pot, do it once in a while. Don't do it all the time, man. He says, yeah, you're probably right. I said, yeah, I'm right, for sure. These students are vulnerable. They're young. At any rate, so much for that discussion. I don't want to continue to, burden people with these discussions about marijuana. But it is important. I think we have to at least talk about it.
We do.
Well, any closing thoughts, any words of wisdom for the audience, sir?
I just think if nobody's giving you attention at the gym, just wear a plunger on your head.
Just wear a plunger on your head.
And I guarantee you'll get attention.
Man. Speaking of attention, I think that's one of the things that I took out of today's events at the gym was that these girls, these guys, a lot of my friends, they're seeking attention. And I say that to say this, guys, that's not important. People are going to be coming to you if you are doing all the right things. You don't have to worry about attracting people. You don't have to worry about being popular, because if you're doing all the good stuff, man, everybody wants to be around you anyway. So focus on yourself. Work out every day. Set goals. Get a good night's sleep. If you're going to do drugs and alcohol, be very careful. Just do it every once in a while, like for an occasion or something. If you think you got a bad habit with it and you're developing a habit, cut it out. It's not worth going down that rabbit hole, man. I've been there. It's horrible. Saw a guy today. He says, today's my 12th day. I'm detoxing. I feel terrible. And I can remember back when I quit doing drugs, I bet I was like 3, 4, 5, 6 months of feeling weird, not feeling well. I mean, it took months, not just a couple of days. It was a big deal. So he thinks he's already struggling out 12 days. He's in for a hard road. But look, that's the way it is, guys. You can't sugarcoat these things. If somebody's telling you something other than that, they're lying to you. It's tough. I've had friends say, "Okay, it's not that big of a deal. I don't smoke anymore, and it never bothered me." I don't believe it. You get nicotine in your system, you get opiates in your system, you get alcohol addiction. It's a struggle to get off that stuff, man. So better think hard and fast about not getting into those habits. At any rate, so much for all that. So guys, look, if you don't give up, eventually the stars are going to line up. It may take a minute, like we talked about earlier. It doesn't matter. Be patient. Take your time. Enjoy the ride. It's cool. Cool. We used cool the other day. Talking about pad the other day. Invite friends over to your pad. Have a good time. Enjoy life. Look, it's short, man. All of a sudden I look up and I'm old. It's like, wow, where did that go? You have to enjoy the ride. You're going to get old. You're going to die someday. So you know what? In the interim, enjoy yourself, man. Set goals. Work hard, but have a good time at the same time. Okay? And don't get hung up on things that don't mean anything. Don't worry. Don't stress. It's not going to change anything. Just work hard. Stay focused. Get a good night's rest. Be around great people. Follow the rules. And I promise you, your life's going to be so much better. Okay? And along the way, guys, just remember, keep your chin up and stay positive.